after a bill without a border security clause passes with the support of 22 Republicans. Karine Jean-Pierre and John Kirby briefing to journalists.
The White House thought it was a good idea for him to come out last Thursday. Just want to clear it up. Was it the president's idea to come out?
It was the president's idea. Yes, he wanted to. It was his idea.
And how forceful was he when he, came out and he
look,
said he wanted to do it that time?
I mean, you saw the president out do this, make a statement, take questions from all of you because he wanted to do it.
Did anyone advise him against it?
I'm not going to get into private conversations that the president has. The president is the president of the United States. If he says he wants to speak directly to the American people, he's going to do that.
And following up on something that Mary asked and some others have asked as well, independent of whether House Republicans are asking for those transcripts, why won't the White House commit to releasing even a redacted version of the transcripts if it has classified information?
And I'm not saying that we're not committing. I'm saying that they're looking at it. I'm saying that they, meaning the White House counsel's office, is looking at it. I just don't have anything to share with you at this time. It is not a no and it is not a yes. It is, we are looking at this. There's processes, there's protocols, and they're looking through that.
And finally, it's our reporting that the notebooks that were part of this investigation are currently in the custody of the FBI. Does the White House or does the president want those notebooks back?
I don't have anything for you on that. I don't. Oh, go ahead, Gary.
The White House this afternoon is convening the descendants and families of civil rights icons and black historical figures like Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, MLK, Malcolm X, etc. This is also perfectly timed for Black History Month. What does the White House hope to achieve with this convening? This is the first time of such a thing happening. And what will be discussed? Will they be discussing the rollbacks on affirmative action and attacks on DEI, perhaps?
So obviously we're honored to have the over 30 descendants convene later today at the White House, as you just stated, to celebrate Black History Month. And as we work to advance the values their ancestors spent their whole lives trying to achieve. So the legacy of these icons and their families can't be understated. The Biden-Harris administration looks forward to continuing to work with these generation of leaders to improve outcomes for Black Americans, and we're proud of what we've been able to achieve. If you think about the record low Black unemployment, which is really important. If you think about Black-owned small businesses, that has really boomed under this administration, making sure that we increase home ownership and also lower health care costs. And so those are the things that obviously we're going to continue to work on. We're proud that we've been able to do. We are honored to have over 30 descendants here at the White House, especially in this important month of Black History Month, where we acknowledge the sacrifices that they've all made. Don't have anything specific or any details to share, but this is an important moment, and we are looking forward to having them here.
One more question.
Yeah.
The D.C. City Council had a preliminary vote the other week on a Secure D.C. bill that expands the detention for youth and adults who commit violent crimes, establishes drug-free zones, etc. Given the president's signing of an overturning of a D.C. criminal code last year, does the White House have a position on this new D.C. bill that seeks to address public safety here in the nation's capital?
So as police chiefs will tell you across the country, we've seen actually a significant drop in crime last year in 2023. And so obviously the president's efforts to fund the police and measures to prevent crime are working. According to this 2023 FBI data, there has been significant, obviously, drop in crime, including one of the largest yearly declines in homicides ever. And so, look, if you even compare it to what we saw in the Trump's administration in their final year, we saw that in the U.S. and this country, that the largest increase in murders ever recorded. So the president took action. We're seeing a decrease in last year, and so look, we want to do more. Obviously, President respects the D.C.'s right to pass measures that strengthen both public safety and public trust, but not certainly going to comment directly on the proposal that's still being debated. So we're going to let D.C. go through their process, and we're going to do everything that we can to continue to lower crime here in the U.S. Okay, all right, I have one more. Go ahead, Tia, I haven't called on you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Is President Biden aware of the outcome of Pakistan's election recently, and is there any stance from the White House on that upset outcome where a majority of the seats in that parliament are independents?
So obviously, yes, the president is very much aware. Millions of Pakistanis turned out to vote last week, including record numbers of Pakistani women, members of religious and ethnic minority groups, and young voters. So certainly we congratulate the Pakistani people for participating in last week's elections, including poll workers, civil society members, and journalists and election observers who have protected Pakistan's democratic and electoral institutions. And so we are proud to stand with like-minded democracies as we consistently convey clearly, both publicly and privately, to the Pakistani government and across the Pakistani political spectrum, the need to respect the will of the Pakistani people and ensure a transparent election process is critical, and it is obviously important. All right, everybody else, see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Concerns about how the election is conducted.